Welcome. It's Mike Rasmussen, CPA Straight Talk for Small Business on August 25th. And today I am going to walk you through women-owned businesses and a few programs. So I'm going to walk you through some sites that you can always revert back to this, or go to YouTube and slow down the video to check and see the URL. But I'm going to be talking about women-owned small businesses, some definitions, programs, and there's an exciting program to get certified that really just opened up that I'm going to walk you to, that you will need to go explore and see a program is for you based on your NAICS code. So now that I've totally confused you with details, I'm going to jump right in and share my screen to walk you through where these programs are. Okay. So here we go. So at sba.gov. Now I know we've been always going to the funding programs, which is where all the programs for Paycheck Protection Program and the EIDL. We're specifically talking about women-owned small business. So you can go to sba.gov. You can see federal contracting, contract assistant, and then women-owned small business federal contracting program. So I'm going to briefly just share with you what it's all about. And here it is as of July 15th, 2020, the certification process, which is what I'm talking to you about, the certification process for women-owned small businesses and economically disadvantaged WSBs. And you see the acronym here, EWSOSB, and then WOSB, okay? So these are put forth in 2015, but they have been upgraded. So what I'm showing you are programs that the government is making available, but you have to be certified, and you can self-certify now through a site, and then there will be online certification at another new site that the SBA is coming out with. I'll walk you through that. So you can go here and read through some of the some of the benefits, but here it is right here. To help provide a level playing field for women business owners, the government limits competition for certain contracts to businesses that participate in the women's contracting program. Okay? And right here, a list of those eligible industries. I have printed that out, and it is and I will get to, but here is the description. And then this is the WOSB, or you will see EDWOSB, okay? And these are the NAICS, which I will get to at the end here to describe. So here's the eligibility in brief. You must be a small business, and that is defined with the SBA as 500 fewer employees, but I'm gonna leave it at that. This one has a little bit different definition to it. At least 51% owned and controlled by women who are U.S. citizens, have women manage day-to-day operations and also make long-term decisions. So if any of those, to even go to the next step, to be economically disadvantaged, you've got to meet that. The economically disadvantaged, all the requirements above, and here, but beyond, in addition, owned and controlled by one or more women, each with a personal net worth of less than $750,000, or be owned and controlled by one or more women, each with $350,000 or less in adjusted gross income average over the previous 3 years. So there are some requirements if you're qualifying for these programs for the economically disadvantaged. Okay, that's the basic. And so it is right here as of July 15th. The personal net worth standards and have been aligned between some of the programs. Here we go. So you can get in some of the details there. So here it is. Get certified as a woman-owned small business. And how does that work? You go to this site, which is beta.certify.sba.gov. And I have kind of clicked through, is the woman-owned small business right for me? You can, and I would encourage you, click through, and here's a little self-tutorial that you can go tell a little bit about your business, and you can go through. And if you say, are you applying? And it will help you go through all of the question. Is the 51% ownership unconditional and direct? And here's some of the details. It's really helps you drill down on whether you qualify and what to do. Is the firm organized for profit? Hope you're seeing it say yes or no. And then it talks about nonprofit entities and exceptions to this. And then, do you affirm that neither this firm nor any of its owners have ever been debarred or suspended by any federal entity? So if you just keep going, you're affirming there. Does the firm have a place of business in the U.S. and operate primarily within the United States? So you can see some of the details here, and this is great to walk you through a little bit about your business. Now, you can either apply here, and then as of October 15th is when the SBA is going to go in and look at the certifications and start approving them. So this is, or you can go in and right now you can use certify.sba and self-certify yourself. After October 15th, you are going to have to use the beta.certify.sba.gov. Okay? So why people use these? You can actually pay approved private parties, and I can show you this right here. You can actually get third-party certifications from at least 4 organizations here: the El Paso Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, National Women Business Owners Corporation, U.S. Women's Chamber of Commerce, or Women's Business Enterprise National Council, for a fee. So to get on in here, self-certification through the existing Certify website remains an option to compete for contracts set-asides until October 15th. After October 15th, self-certification will no longer be available, and firms must complete the new certification process on beta.certify.gov. Just as of note, if you use the existing site, Certify, you're going to have to pull down any documents that you've uploaded there for qualification and repost them and enter them in beta.certify.sba.gov. Bottom line is jump on to sba.gov, go to certify.sba, and start poking around to see if a program or if you're even possibly qualify, and to understand a little bit more about your business. Now, this information was posted here on May 11th of 20 in the Federal Register. Here it is: Women-Owned Small Business and Economically Disadvantaged Women, a certification process. So then here are a little bit more within the SBA site. It talks a little bit about will you be ready? And here it is: starting July 15th. To submit your initial application, the new site makes it easy for you to understand the changes. You can explore your company's eligibility, find answers, and of course, here's the important dates. The current program, self-certification, will remain available until October 15th in Certify. As of October 15th, business will have to be certified either through SBA's new free online, which is that beta site, or a third-party certifier. So again, right here, are you eligible? I've showed you where to get that. Prepare to apply. So you can go in here. Here are the differences between pre and post regulations. Just a little bit more details for you for an applicant. And then an FAQ. This was really good. What is the program? How does it apply? Bottom line is there are federal programs, and I'll make this a little bigger. So you can see some of the descriptions here. I see a lot of construction, contractors, manufacturing, a lot of manufacturing here. You can see I then drips into a lot of trucking, motor vehicle towing, and trucking, used household and office goods moving. So you can see it, and then you get into, my gosh, motion picture, music, radio networks, televisions, and you get down into more of the services. Here's all the services: other accounting, payroll, tax prep. So what I'm, a lot of, other consulting, so the government is looking to for 5% of all federal contracts issued to be women awarded. Okay, so that's a huge and so now with this, you've got to be in the system and self-certify. So to at least for right now, and then you have an option then at October 15th. This should be part of your business model, and it should it should represent possibly a line item to become involved in more federal programs as an additional source of revenue for your woman-owned business. That's what this should be. So there is a process right now that you go to. You need to either personally do it if you own your business, or to assign it to somebody to work through all the details here of exactly, does any programs possibly apply? Are contracts out there being awarded right now with your NAICS code? And add it to your potential, especially since the award is online. So this is where you can get more interaction, and with COVID and being quarantined, the ability to gain additional revenue stream that you possibly had not considered before is the whole reason why you would want to do this. Okay? So here, especially if you're a woman-owned business. Now, I know we're gonna, at the end, I'm gonna talk about what if I'm not right now, can I convert? And I'll talk to you at the end about that. So here's some FAQs that you can look at. Then this is the actually in what describes a woman-owned business, and it basically talks about the 51 a small business and not less than 51% unconditionally and directly owned and controlled by one or more women who are United States citizens. That was back to that checklist that we went through. Here's a checklist to get going. So qualifying individuals include all women claiming 51%. So here you go. Proof of U.S. citizenship, resume, any joint venture agreements, your articles, copies of stock certificate, stock ledger, typically anything you would need to give to a bank, what entity you're working in out of, whether it's a corporation, limited liability, partnership, sole proprietor, okay? And then very similar information for an economically disadvantaged WSB, okay? And system award, so you can read through some of the details here, okay? I'm not gonna get into this hub zone, but just keep that in your back of your mind, okay? So these were the original, this is not really new. Here it is, instructions, managing your certified business profile. Here's April 2017 that you can look at. So then I also did this. I went into the U.S. Department of Treasury. What I had showed you before are SBA-led programs, but I'm also showing you, here are the Department of Treasury that is looking to also for awarding women-owned business contracts. Here is electronic capability statement. I wanted to show you this because it is something that you should be looking at, and you should have this information available, especially when you're attempting to submit applications for online. You want this type of information. So if you can read a little bit there, it talks about, tells potential clients who you are, what you do, and how you are different from your competitors. It serves as a snapshot of your company as well as a resume for your business. Capability statements are used to compare with other vendors. So a capability statement informs your existing and potential customer about your business's capabilities, including. This is really like an executive summary, but here is a one-page fold-over used to open doors and make introductions, a brochure that could be part of a request for proposal response, a detailed presentation used for capabilities briefings, okay? And here, build a capability statement FDIC. So I wanted to bring this to your attention. So what a great framework for you to start assembling your message. And it's your message that is succinct and clear, that identifies and represents your capabilities, that someone as a consumer or a potential client is going to be clicking through on the internet to select you as a potential vendor. So once you become certified, these capability statements are going to be reviewed. Okay? And this is where a client would go look and basically select you based on what you put here. So it's a process. This is not to replace your ordinary course of business, but if one of the NAICS codes are out there right now that apply to you and you are a woman-owned business, you ought to consider going down this path and add it to your revenue stream. Okay. I keep talking about NAICS. Here you go, NAICS. And it is how businesses are categorized and recognized in industries. So if you go to what is the NAI, North American Industry Classification System, NAICS, was developed as a standard use by federal statistical agencies and classifying business standards for the collection, analysis, and publication of statistical data related to the business economy of the U.S. Why is that important to you? Being properly coded. Wow. Being properly coded with NAICS is important for the statistics when you're comparing how your business stacks up in comparison to other vendors with the same NAICS code. So there are statistics that are going to be that in my NAICS code of whatever it would be compared to somebody else, I can actually go pull statistics and look at my revenue or potential or some expense classification and compare and go, how am I doing and how do I stack up? So it's not just how am I doing currently, it's also if you were to value your entity, this would be the way that you would first identify, pull the NAICS code and see how methods of valuation and what statistics are unique, if you will, to that industry code, industry classification. That's why it's important. So it's very important for you to go understand, and when you first start out and are in business, make sure your NAICS accurately reflects your business operations. In addition, we use that code for tax preparation and filing your tax returns. It's used in many, many different of tax compliance, knowing your NAICS. It's also used for selection of IRS audits based on your industry. So because the Internal Revenue Service has audit technique guides, which are how to audit certain industries, of which they pull NAICS codes. Okay? There's a little bit briefing on that. Okay. So what I want to do, so in summary, you go to sba.gov and type in Woman-Owned Small Business Federal Contracting Program. You can work through all the sites that I went through based on links from this basic home site. I then went to U.S. Department of Treasury, okay? And I went to, and one of the things that I always get asked, well, I started my business last year, or I've been in business for this year or last couple years, and bottom line is I am contemplating bringing in a 51% woman partner, shareholder, whatever, so that I start qualifying. And so if you are considering opening a business right away, you might want to consider your ownership, especially if the reality is the woman is there is women, and not only in management, but ownership, clear ownership and direction of more than 51%. So if any of those facts hit, definitely consider a lot of these programs here to add to your business model and as you're under your unique NAICS code. So if you need any of these that I've talked about, go to sba.gov, start walking through, take a little time, watch this, hit some of the sites, determine your and look at your NAICS code. Where do you stand? And then figure out if you need to modify your structure, or figure out if you're just opening up this year, how to possibly add or possibly partner with another complementary vendor that the two of you, women-owned businesses, could basically merge and be more of a presence in these federal contracts. Because what's coming is more and more online promotion. These are certifications that you will, something you can add to your business resume. So federal contracts with all of the programs out there, a way to make yourself known electronically, like what showed you, the electronic capability requirements are becoming more and more the status quo and the way businesses are doing business. So you need to really work on, if anything about this whole process right now is to determine how to get my electronic capability statement out there. How do I go if I am a woman-owned business? How do I get my name out there? Even though it might not be a primary source of revenue for you today, this is where it is going, is more federal contracts are moving towards, like it said, 5% of all contracts, woman-owned contracts, will be awarded. So those have to be awarded. So there needs to be a pool of certified women-owned businesses. That's what's happening in the process. Okay. So again, the dates are, it's open right now, July 15th, and you can actually jump on these sites and start doing your application. Hope that helped you out. Now, for every day, and there will be a calendar where I'm going to show you this. This is my Facebook page, where you can actually jump on and like. So if you appreciated this, what the information I've given you, give me a like on the Facebook. At the end of this, I have an editor that basically takes this and post a few of the videos here at YouTube. So I have a YouTube channel. You can see it brand new at this, which is great. So you can subscribe. So right here you can hit it subscribed, and or you can go to my homepage, and in the homepage you can look around the site, but at pretty much any point in time you can get a hold of me. Scroll down, you can see our videos at the end, and then you can get a hold of me if you want to set an appointment and start a conversation. Okay? Hope that helped you, and I will see you tomorrow. CPA Straight Talk, Small Business, Mike Rasmussen. Have a great day.